2, 3, funk it.
So today I'm just messing around with some practice stuff. Today, mostly elbow. I'm looking at my elbow today because on the weekend I was looking at the juniors a lot, and one of the coaches brought up something interesting about the elbow position being too high. Because obviously you see a lot of new people, they either start with their elbow really low like this, or just their elbow outwards with not using their back. Two common positions. But when you've been shooting a while, like myself, I remember even looking through my old footage, I went through a stage of using my elbow in a high position above my eyes and above my forehead. So that was, it was more of a strain, as I was talking to the coach as well, because it's been a while since I've done such a high draw. But it is a strain from what I remember when I was actually doing it on the muscles, because I mustn't have been coming into my back as quickly. Just a little something that I figured out. And over the weekend I was just like, okay, I want to give this a try. So today I was like, alright, and now I'm kind of using more of a linear plane. So the arrow, imagine if the end's the bow hand, obviously this is my bow hand. So if I'm having a high elbow, it kind of looks like this. So the arrow's facing downwards when I'm drawing up on my forehead, or if someone was drawing up on their forehead. And a lot of beginners, obviously something like that, or something like that, outwards, it's turned outwards, because your elbow's coming around. Sometimes because they don't want to hit themselves. Sometimes obviously it is straight, but they just have their elbow just crooked, bent like that, and they shoot like that. But mostly what I'm talking about is when you see people shooting like that, and then they come down into their shot. Because what I'm realizing is maybe it is a little bit easier, because when I do my warm-ups I usually do a stretch band from top and then I bring down into my shot. But I was talking to another coach and he was telling me that that's training different muscles. So what I've been practicing with my band is just training sideways motion instead, just straight onto my back instead of coming down into my back. And I think that's been helping. I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, training before my shot with that procedure instead of coming down. Every now and then I'll do a couple of reps of coming down into my shot for warm-ups, but mostly sidewards, straight into the back. And I feel like that might have a little bit benefit shot, but I'm not sure, because I feel like I'm slightly weaker, maybe because I haven't been using my back. Maybe that might be a thing. I reckon after I look at this footage I'll probably know the difference. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll review it right now, I'm not sure. But I'm thinking I might just stay on this blank butt for the most of today, because I don't have long anyway. And that's also probably another factor, is I haven't been practicing much, so that might be it as well. Not sure, let's see. So this is straight on looking at the arrows. Obviously they're snapshots, but they do look a little bit more centered than what I usually shoot. So a little bit different to the other one. I was trying to hold on the last two, which was those two at the end. So I'm only out at 25 meters, but I'm gonna see what it feels like to have that line. So drawing with my shoulder more level than higher in these shots. Actively trying to think about it. But so I just wanted to show something real quick. So I got the bow here and I got the shooting glove. So this is one thing I've been trying to work on for a little bit now, doing the 2 finger under 1 finger on method. Is actually, yeah, I'll get an arrow, so it better represents what I'm talking about. So I got an arrow on there. My hand position hasn't changed on the bow. So what I'm just working on at the moment is just these actual fingers. When you shoot through finger, I'm having them in the little phalanxes right there, slated before, so the middle finger's just after. So what I see a lot of people do with this method is obviously they have their fingers lightly on the string. So that would be, if that was on my middle finger, that would be somewhere past the little phalanx. So I'm not too certain. I've tried that a little bit. It feels a little weak. This whole thing feels a little weak. So I'm trying to think about the strongest way I could do this. So what I'm doing is it's past it. Those little lines represent, so that's the phalanx, and that represents the middle. So I've kind of gone up to the first one on my middle finger. I've rotated my hand into the bow like that, and then I got my finger on, pressing on the arrow. I'm not sure about where to hold this. The actual length between the fletching and the string, so where the knock sits, actually isn't long enough for my fingers. So I don't know if this has a crazy effect on my feeling, because my finger's quite far, like right about here. It feels hard to relax my finger on the arrow. I have to really dig into my fingers, my lower two fingers, to get it on. So what I'm doing is I'm having a hook. So if you have a 3-finger hook, just say you're shooting a recurve bow, you got a 3-finger hook like you've been taught. So you hook like that, and then you're pulling back. So with this, you got the 1 finger stretched out, so it feels a little bit lighter on the middle finger. So you kind of intentionally want to do that. You intentionally want to have that kind of pressure. But what I'm trying to do is reverse it. So I'm having more pressure obviously on the middle finger, and the lower finger has a little bit lighter pressure. And then obviously at the top finger, I don't know, like 10%, it's not really much, it's holding the arrow in place. So you probably can't see too well how much it's hooking, but it would be looking like that. Yet again, if I was doing 3-finger, it kind of would look like that. If I had a finger tab on, obviously it would look completely different, and it would probably feel a lot stronger, because I get a little bit of pain in my fingers as I do this. But anyway, I'm gonna shoot. So that felt like lobbing the arrows over at the moment, because the draw length has changed quite a lot from my thumb draw. So the first shots went like really sporadically. I had 1 miss, 1 hit the bottom of the butt, and then 1 went off to the right. And then, so that's 3 miss and then 4 on. So that's also me pitching my body up a little bit. But I reckon I can kind of straighten the shot a little bit. I just got to focus a little bit more on that hook. And then coming into the back it's a weird one, because like I said, it feels weaker. It might be to do with just me practicing. I can get it with this bow, no problem. Maybe it's just muscle memory for this. Might be. I'm not completely certain. I'm gonna do a quick end with how I usually shoot. So I found out something really obvious just then. My shot break isn't as clean. For certain, that's for certain. And then underdrawing, so there's just a couple of things. I feel like that's stronger though, with keeping slightly higher elbow position and then slightly higher arm position. So these were the couple of shots I did. So obviously after these were my first few down below, and then these top 3 were me kind of siding in a little bit. But these ones are the collapsing shots and also the not clean breaking of the shot. So I'm just letting go of the string instead of relaxing my hand. So I have to get used to that. Just a little focus, not much. So I'm also bending my wrist a little bit. I can tell throughout my shots. Might just straighten it up, see what happens. Okay, that was definitely to the right, because I forced the first shot to go left with my wrist. Yeah, that missed to the right, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep on not forcing my wrist and just see if my back aligns it to my face a little bit better. Grip. Come down. Okay, my brake definitely looks weird if I had this camera on the tripod right now. It would look very weird. What's your grip? Shoot. Grip. Okay, I'm not even anchoring on my face right now. They are quite sporadic. This is my last arrow, probably of the day as well. I'm not sure, this is interesting. I can definitely feel, this kind of shows me how much of my back I'm using. Tilt, grip. Okay, well, it's look, the last set of grouping is not bad, but that's probably just off of muscle memory, honestly, because I wasn't even touching my face. This gives me something to think about. Obviously, they're straight on, because they have some distance for the fletching just to catch the wind. But yeah, that was the first shot with a bent wrist like that, kind of bent into it. Or maybe it was bent like that. I think it was bent like that. And then me trying to line my shots up first made me cause to shoot really over far to the right. So this might be because my back's in a good alignment. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do this for the rest of the week with my finger shooting as well and see what happens.
Jesus fucking